What's happening, you guys? Here we are with another episode of games that you should buy or at least play. Now, let me go ahead and start off with, is this game safe for kids? There is a level of violence in the game as far as like blood splattering everywhere like Mortal Kombat. I mean Scorpion here, but it's not Mortal Kombat, so you're not going to have someone's limbs and bones and guts and stuff like that flying all over the place. So if the parent themselves not too touchy about that, then the game is fine. If they're not too touchy about fighting it, because there's not like a bunch of blood and guts or anything like that. The only time you really see it is like when Joker enters the arena. That's only time I've ever really seen it. Go ahead and say like this version here that you guys are seeing is for the PlayStation 3. I didn't pick it up for the 4. I don't know why. I just didn't. And I got this game literally like 2 weeks before the second installment of this game came out, which I do have video of, so I will go ahead and drop that one when I get a moment. But as you guys can see earlier, there are the super moves are over the top, and I'm talking about like you had Flash who ran all the way around the world to punch him in the face, knocked him up into the air, and then jumped up and punched him back down. And I mean, you know, actually it's kind of fun. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna like this game. I sat on my thumbs when it came to this game for the longest time, and I'm glad that it's a game I picked up. The reason why is because most superhero games, unfortunately, they suck. They're just not fun. Like a lot of you guys may not remember, but there was a game called Spawn. And Spawn is one of those characters that, how do you mess that up? But they did. So what can you really do? Hope for another game that'll come out that'll be not messed up. It'll be better than that. But anyways, when I first got this game, and what you guys are watching here, this entire video is footage of myself and my son playing. Now, this is the youngest of my kids, and he has a thing for Scorpion and Deathstroke, and so, you know, obviously that's who he is, so he's player 2. He's not getting my controller. What ends up happening is the game is easy enough for anybody to sit there and play, because when I first got the game, I tried to play it like Street Fighter, and that didn't work. And then you try to play it kind of like Mortal Kombat, and that really didn't work either. And then I kind of realized what I was doing, or what I was playing anyways, and what I had was, it was a game that played like King of the Fighters, elements of Eternal Champions, and a game that also plays a little bit like World Heroes. Now, for those of you guys that are like as old as I am, you guys will know like what those 3 games are, and it'll kind of be like one of those, whoa, you actually remember that? Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's exactly what this game plays like. It's like basically a 3-button fighter in a sense. I mean, there's other buttons you can use, but those are the main 3 buttons that you're going to use other than your super moves. Everyone's super moves are performed the same way. And what you've noticed that the slightest mistake that you make in this game can instantly turn the tide of that fight. Like, you can sit there and just crush somebody in like a matter of seconds, and then if they throw a little jab that stops your super move right in mid tracks, you can sit there and you can lose that fight and be like, whoa, what just happened there? But as you can see here, there's a pretty decent lineup of superheroes here, kind of like your main characters that you hear about, and a couple that you don't hear about too often, but everyone knows who they are. Now, the game focuses more on, I guess you could say it's more of the fun factor, and you don't usually get that with a lot of fighting games. And the fun factor meaning that the son that my son that's playing this is 6 years old, and I don't even know how Scorpion fits into this whole universe thing, but it's kind of annoying, in my opinion. I mean, I guess, and this is how, like, it's like, how does Scorpion fit into the Justice League and all that? But, I guess that's another video. But anyways, the fun factor is you have the Martian Manhunter, and then you have, of course you have Superman, and then you have, let's see, who else is there? Cyborg and Lex Luthor, and the Flash, Killer Frost, Batgirl, Nightwing. I mean, you have all these different characters. Everyone has super moves that, that are kind of extreme. And I'm not saying like extreme like, someone's head gets lopped off. I'm talking about like, they go there. I mean, like watch. Now, to some people that might be like, okay, and so, but I mean, it wasn't like he just threw a fireball that was a little bit larger than normal. I mean, as you can see, like, my son knows how to do the super moves in this game as well. So, when, you have a game that's easy enough for everyone to kind of pick up and just kind of play, it's no big deal. Everyone can actually begin to focus more on the fun of it. You have your basic punch buttons and your kick buttons, and then, okay, here's a grab button right here. Like where you just kind of, like a grab, a hold button. So, the game, would I say it's a game worth picking up? Definitely. I mean, don't do what I did and sit on your thumbs when it comes to this one. I mean, it's one of the fighting games I would say, you know what, hey, go get this. It's actually fun. They did a superhero game right. Just like everyone has heard of, like the Arkham games, like Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum. Everyone has heard of these games. They did a Batman game right. So I would have to say this is a game definitely worth playing. Is it repetitive? Like, look at this. It's part of the stage. and then now you're fighting in a completely different arena. Kind of like, I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, everyone, I haven't played a Mortal Kombat game in I don't know how long, but think of like the Mortal Kombat games where you would uppercut someone and you go flying into the ceiling, but it'll actually be the floor of another level or something like that. So, I mean, in Eternal Champions, you had things going on in the background where it might have been like a fan moving, and it might have been, who knows, it could have been a car driving by, and then you can use that part of the stage to your advantage somehow, some way. And this one is very similar. So, they have, like I said, characters like Bane, Solomon Grundy, Killer Frost, Wonder Woman, you have Green Lantern, you have Black Adam, Shazam, of course Superman, Batman, Nightwing, you know, older Robin. You have a nice little setup of people you can, even Raven. I mean, look at that. There's Raven from Teen Titans. I mean, there's Flash, Scorpion. I don't even know what that's about, but Lex Luthor. And there's Ares. There's a lot that you can do with this game. I don't know if the PlayStation 4 version is any different. I'm almost tempted to just go buy it and, you know, kind of add that one to the PlayStation 4 collection there. But, you know, this is a definite buy. You know, because normally when you think of a fighting game, you're thinking Street Fighter or Tekken. And I would have to say, Street Fighter, not the last one that came out, but the one before, because the last one that came out, I haven't played that yet. But the one before, I would say it was a fairly decent game. The artwork on it, everything like that. It was a fairly decent game. Tekken, I haven't played a Tekken game in I don't know how long, so I would be so out of practice. It's not even funny. Just like even like a King of the Fighters game. I know they came out with one for the PS3, but I played it, downloaded it, played it for a little bit. I'll have to put some time in and kind of see where I am with that, but I would definitely have to play that one and do a video of that. But these are, Street Fighter or Tekken are the main fighting games that you guys hear about when you play a fighting game, or you think about a fighting game. That's what comes to mind. You think of football game, you think of a Madden game, 2K, whatever, you know. But what this game right here, in my opinion, is it my favorite fighting game? No, I couldn't say that it's my favorite fighting game. Is it something I would say people should play and go pick up or whatever, right? Definitely. Definitely. It will change the way that you think about fighting games, the way that you look at them, and the way that you, when you sit there playing, okay, so you know I have options now. So I have my Street Fighter and I have my Tekken, and now I have my Injustice. So what am I feeling today? It's kind of like saying like if you're playing a racing game and you have Forza and then you have Gran Turismo. Now both are simulators, but they're also very different. Now see, this is that part I was talking about that has like the blood on it. To be honest with you, I can't say that I've seen anything else in the game that has blood. I mean, there was I guess, you know, when you Joker and when he hit somebody with his knife, but the crazy thing is that that's about as far as it goes. I mean, it's not like all over the floor and hitting the screen and stuff, but I mean, see, even like this right here, you see sparks. You don't see blood flying everywhere. So, I mean, you guys kind of see what I'm talking about there. I mean, it depends on how touchy the person is about stuff like that. The things that I don't like about the game, I'm trying to remember what I was talking about a minute ago, but the thing I don't like about the game is, okay, a character like Deathstroke he should be really easy to play with. I mean, with the sword and the guns and all that, he should be. It's easier to play with Batman than it is with Deathstroke, and you would think would be, you know, it'd be easier, but no, Deathstroke is a little difficult to play with at times. Given that my 6-year-old son is making it look like it's pretty easy. Then you have like I call them brutes, like, you know, Solomon Grundy, Bane. Let's see who else is there. Those are the main two I can think of. Oh, and Lobo. Those characters are also kind of difficult to play with. And it's not so much that they're just big, it's just that it just seems like they don't really move. But I would say other than that, one thing that, now I don't know if it's because I have the PlayStation 3 version with this and I have the PlayStation 4 version with the second installment, but this game has a little bit of a story to it. It's nothing crazy, but I mean, it kind of shows, like, you know, what happened if Superman went crazy and what would happen. Superman, a world with under Superman's fist, like, you know, you have Superman who is this, he's as bad as Zod. You know, he believes in ultimate justice now because of what he's been through. So there are some characters in the story in this game that died. Now, I can understand why they wouldn't be in the second game, but those that did survive should have been in the second game as characters. Not all of them are. So, I mean, that was a little bit annoying. And like I said before, if there's something in the game that I didn't like or something that this didn't sit right with me with the game, I'll let you know. I think it's a very solid game. make no mistake about that, it is a very solid game. You know, the people who made this game, they took a big chance considering that most superhero games suck. They do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They suck. But this one, it doesn't. It's actually a really good game. So, you know, you guys go ahead and watch the rest of the video and hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll get the other video to the second installment out as soon as I get a moment. And like I said, you guys, keep buying the good games. And I'm not talking about the trendy ones. Buy the good ones. Because the more good games that we actually buy, games that are actually good, it forces developers to stop making crap. It forces them to stop making games that just plain old suck. That way we can actually see what they're truly capable of. Well, we can see what our PlayStation and Xboxes can really do. So, you ever played that one game where you're sitting there and just like, you know what? I really hope they make a second game of this, but it never comes out. Or if it does, it just kind of bites a little bit. Let's force them to make good games. Keep gaming, you guys, and I'll check you guys in the next video.
Deathstroke. Deathstroke. Lobo.
Time to liven up the joint.
Begin.
call me the main man for nothing.